What's the name, my people? You know it is the Don, Tony, Teflon. I am in the house. You know who I am. I've been here for years. It's hard to believe. As many years I have been here covering Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Song of Ice and Fire content on YouTube. And we are still here. We're still doing our thing. House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 1, about to drop. And I'm very excited about this season. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's hard for me to truly get up for a show that, I've read the books and everything else, but I am excited. I'm always excited about this fandom. I'm excited about this universe. I've been doing this for a very long time. This is what I did my break in YouTube. Obviously, was on Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire and everything else. So very happy to continue to cover this show. That this show is doing so well. And the fandom is still here and stuff like that. And all these people are still in. Look, all y'all are back here rocking with the Don, and I truly appreciate it. So let me give some of you some shout outs, and then I'll tell you everything that's going on, and then we'll get this thing rolling. So Why So Curious is in the building rocking with us. What up, what up, what up? CJ2K is up in here. What up, what up? China Moon is up in here. What up, what up? Trano member Trez is in the building rocking with us. Channel member Winter is up in this piece. John Haymaker is up in here. Luna is in this piece. Miss Duncan the Tall is in the building rocking with us. Channel member Fatima. I'm about to say Fatima. I'm like, this girl got me pronouncing names wrong. Fatima's in the building rocking with us right now. Hi, I'm Allison is up in here. Macon is in the building. What's up, Tanola, your boy? And everybody else, thank you for showing up and rocking. And Bernadette, Beef and Bernie, is in the building rocking. All right, so let's get through. As for the usual suspects who should be here with me right now, and they will be with me here every week and stuff, which is Phil the Issues Guy and our boy Bridge for Kaz de Sosa. Bridge is a little under the weather. His voice is messed up. I spoke to him earlier, so it's just not a good idea. He said he was still going to come, but I, worked it out and told him, it ain't worth it. He's got to save his voice for videos and things like that. Well, he's going to be in here next week, guaranteed. Phil, I didn't have a chance to speak to today, but I'm sure if he is home and he's able to join, he will join. So usual suspects, we still in the building. Don't think because you don't see them here, they ain't going to be here. It's just, just so happened that this is a week that Bridget shit got fucked up, and life happens like that, man. You can't just count on things, everything working out like that. But for right now, I'm down. I'm here. I'm solo dolo, but it doesn't matter. I have the call-in line 781-990. Is that the call-in line number? No, it's not the call-in line number. We have a different number. That's not the call-in. Why is that number up there? Where's my? That's Phil. That's because that's Phil's number right there. Let me put the number in here real quick. The real number, so y'all can call up. Let me change this real quick. That should do it. Take a all right, there we go. That is the call-in number, 518-290-0848. You can call me up. Tell me what you're interested in seeing this season of House of the Dragon. If you think it's going to be a great season of House of the Dragon, anything you want, you want to speak about, you can call me up and speak to the Don live and everything else. And again, we've been here a very long time. It's like when I think about the whole everything that done on YouTube all these years and stuff, how long we've been out here. I've been out here rocking. It's just so long. It's been such a long time. Things have changed. Hair's got a little grayer. I gotta wear glasses now. I'm got a little heavier. Things have changed definitely since the first time I have gone on here and talked about Game of Thrones and everything else. Used to use Google Hangouts and all that good stuff back in the day. Those are very fun times doing Game of Thrones and stuff. But we're looking forward to House of the Dragon and this new generation and everything else. Miss Happy Father's Day to everybody out there who's a father. Who said Happy Father's Day to me. Thank you very much. One of the, most out of all the things I've done in my life, my children, My two daughters are the things I'm most proud of. And as I said, if I'm going to be remembered for anything, whether it's books or anything else that I do, I would rather just be remembered as their father, because they are the two things that I'm most proud of in this world that I create. All right, so let's talk about House of the Dragon season 2. We all know where it left off, right? And let me say this too. So I was issued copy of the season of House of the Dragon. I have not watched it, and I'm not going to watch it, even though I have them and I can watch seasons. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it because I don't like the feeling of not having something exciting to go through on Sunday. Back when Game of Thrones was on and wasn't getting the stuff from HBO, it felt better. It felt better. Sunday felt like an event, like I looked forward to it. I remember used to get together in the living room with my friends, my man Sean, all of us, and we just watched the show, and it just made it a better experience. So for that reason, I'm not going to watch any episode of the House of the Dragon before it airs at 9 p.m. So I have no idea what happened or anything like that. We're going to keep it rolling like that, just to keep that feeling inside. And you know, I'll be on other people, my peoples. I'll be on my sister podcast, Direwolf City. Me, Bridget, and Phil will all be on there. We'll be doing some back and forth collaborations with, you know, I Eat Zebras and Alice, Alice, not Alice. It's not Alice. Alicia, and also and Gray Area. So we'll be doing some things like that and all that good stuff. And we'll be having all the other people going back and around. So it's going to be a fun season. We got 8 weeks. These 8 weeks going to fly by. All right. 8 weeks is going to fly by. So why do we only have 8 weeks? So the showrunners said that the reason why they wanted to do 8 episodes this season was because they did not want Ryan Condal. So he did not want to have any type of episodes that drag, any type of filler episode. So every episode should be action packed. We should get something special every episode due to that fact. Now, I know a lot of people will say that you know, oh, that I wish they had 10 episodes. But to me, I think they made the right choice and they made the right decision. I would rather see 8 banger episodes than 10 and a couple of fluff in between. You know what I mean? I don't get into the fluff. Don don't do the fluff. The Don is only about the action. And I think we're going to get a whole lot of action-packed stuff this season. And I think it's going to be a really good season. And I think we're on the right trajectory to have a really special thing. Usually shows peak on season 3, but because this is only going to be about, I think it's 5 seasons, I think that this would be the season to make a break. And that's already been renewed for season 3. We know that. But this would be the season, I think, that really would catapult it into superstardom. As we've seen with Game of Thrones, was catapulted after the Red Wedding. Dave and Weiss, they always said that if they can get to season 3, they know they can make this the biggest show on the planet. They were able to do so. They got to season 3. It became the biggest show on the planet. And I think we're going to have that go down here with this season. If they just stick the landing on this season, then I think by next season, we're talking about this is the biggest show on the planet. It is literally the next Game of Thrones that everyone has been searching for. And I think that this next Game of Thrones is another work from George R. R. Martin. It's poetically, and I think that's the way it's going to go down and everything else. So what up to my girl Carla Way? What up to Aura in the chat? What up to all y'all up in there? I see y'all, and I appreciate y'all stopping by and everything else and hanging out with the Don and everything else. Yeah, let's Bernadette. She's saying, what a time to be alive. Got hype. Was real. It hit, crossed over Game of Thrones. It crossed over from just the fandom, the initial fandom, to mainstream. You know what I mean? And it was that Red Wedding episode that allowed it to do that crossover, because people knew that was coming, and they did a lot of reaction videos to their friends when they actually seen it. And that's what made it go down. And that's what made that whole thing so special. And that's what made it crossover into the cultural. And then after that, you started seeing spoofs on Saturday Night Live about it. Now, when they spoof you on Saturday Night Live, that means that enough people throughout the world know what they're spoofing, right? You can't just spoof any show that's there. You have to spoof a show that no matter that the majority of people watching know what you're spoofing. So that is how it crossed over, and that's how big that show got after that third season. People remember season 1 was good, and season 2 to me was better, but it was that third season that really took off, and I think we're there right now with House of the Dragon, the things that we're going to see this season. Phil is here. He's in the background. He'll be right back. He'll be on in a second. He just popped in. So Phil will be joining me right here. So we'll have 2/3 of the usual suspects up in here and everything else. So he'll be up in here. So yeah, it was that really brought Game of Thrones to the forefront. You know what I mean? It wasn't just a smash hit right out the back. No show usually is like that. You know what I mean? So I think we're here. We're here with the things that we know that are going to take place. We know the blood and cheese is going to happen. We know it's going to happen in the first episode because it's called Son for a Son. That is not going to be as heartbreaking a red wedding scene, but it will be enough, I believe, to put in the zeitgeist what people want to see and how it's going to go down and how it's going to be perceived and stuff. So I do believe that this episode, this with that, is going to start it off with a bang. And as long as they can maintain that height. Now, again, this is a problem with with shows when you do something like this. Now, when you have something in episode one, and it's such a high moment, can you maintain that momentum? Because if you think of it as a roller coaster and you go in there and you're going to shoot right for the stars at the first episode and you're at that peak, can you keep that momentum going up, or is it eventually going to come down? And that would be my only problem with doing this so early. That is it going to peak early to that point where the rest of the season is going to feel like it's a slow descent going down because it doesn't live up to that shocking moments. And TV shows have turned into this. They're going to try to shock you. Now, if you relate it to like the Ned Stark situation, they didn't kill Ned in episode 1, right? They didn't do that. If you look at the Acolyte that just came out, if you watch that show, they killed the main Jedi chick in episode 1. To me, they didn't build her up enough to kill her that early. I didn't like that. And they built the whole Ned Stark thing. They built that up and everything else before they got rid of him. You didn't expect him to die, but it was late in the game. It was after you already cared about him and stuff. So I do have a little angst about them doing this episode right off the bat, just for the fact that I think that maybe it teeters off the rest of the episodes because this moment is so high. So hopefully that's not what happens. Hopefully it is able to maintain and even go up from there. Why So Curious says Dragon Warfare is almost a point. Again, so the Dragon Warfare, Dragon on Dragon battle is something that everyone's looking forward to, and hopefully it gets done correctly. If we can get this thing on a good momentum, it's good CGI, and we could see some good dragon battles. Everybody wants to see that. Everybody. I think the best time that we ever seen, I don't know if we've ever seen a true show or movie that had a lot of dragon on dragon battle in live action before. So I would say it's cutting edge. It's a little bit breaking the mold and everything else. And if they're able to pull that off, then I think they got something. But in the end, it's not just about the dragons. The dragons are there to spice things up, but it's about the characters themselves, and that's what it has to be. People have to care about some of these characters. People have to root for some of these characters to win. And right now, when I look at the people that are there, Rhaenyra and Alicent are not really likable people that you want to root for either of them to win this throne. And I think that somehow they're going to have to change that a little bit. That they're going to, I know they tried to in season 1 by showing them as friends when they were young and everything. And they grew up and then they grew apart and everything else like that. But I think that, which I would think is naturally for you to go to the park, because if you are friends with somebody, girls, I'm talking to y'all, and then your best friend marries your father, are you really going to be friends with that chick anymore? Honestly, how do you think that that is possible for you to be cool with? I don't know any woman And you're in this chat right now. If your best friend married your father, are you still gonna be cool with that chick? I mean, I don't know how you could be. I don't know how you could, because I know if it was me and my best friend married my mother, there's an ass kicking coming. Someone's gonna get their ass kicked. It's not gonna happen. We cool, bro. We ain't that cool. There's limits to this motherfucker. You know what I mean? We over here marrying fucking my moms. You know what I mean? It's just it ain't work. I can't have that situation in my life. You know what I mean? I can't have it. You know, that at all. I can't have it. At least I had a stepmom that was like 6 years older than me. So hey, hey, your dad's a pimp like that. I ain't hating on the man. I ain't hating on the man or anything like that. But I'm saying, was this your best friend though? You know what I mean? Was this your best friend? It's different when it's your best friend. You know what I mean? I mean, you and Gray cool. Like Gray, your girl. That's your motherfucker. And Gray married your pops. I don't know if you'd be that cool, or vice versa. Right? I don't know if things will work out like that. You know, I love Phil. I love Bridge. They my motherfuckers. Them my motherfuckers. But my mother came out. I walked in my bedroom and Phil was in my mom's bed. I think it's gonna be a problem.
We're your motherfuckers, but we're not fucking your mother. Is it?
Yes, y'all my motherfuckers, but I'm a motherfucker.
But I'm not a motherfucker like that, motherfucker. I know what you're saying. Motherfucker. I'm not quite that kind of motherfucker.
Yeah, you a motherfucker, but not my motherfucker.
Not that kind of motherfucker. I'm with you, but what you were saying about Allison and Rhaenyra, or just both sides in general. I think this is one of those situations where, you know, a lot of the advertisement for this is, and yeah, for me, Rhaenyra is the true queen, but that's beside the point. But it's still, you're dealing with, you might be right, Walter, but you're an asshole. Like both these sides are a bunch of like, can they just hug it out for poor Viserys? Like that's what this comes down to, you know, like Viserys, I'm your father, I'm your sire. Like this, there is a lot of crap going on here. It's a kind of, in a lot of ways, at least if we're going to go by the show situation, it's a little bit of a misunderstanding where Allison thought she was hearing something she didn't hear. Like if we're going to take the show for the show value, again, the book versus show, Allison, up until that point at the dinner, was like accepting that Rhaenyra was going to be queen. It was when Viserys was dying and went into his whole talking about the prince that was promised thing, thinking he was talking about the other Aegon. So really, a lot of this is a big misunderstanding that there's no side that's right, and it's one conversation away from solving all of this at some point.
I mean, there is one side that's right, but it's also one side that's wrong. Like even the right side is doing the wrong things. Yeah, right. So that's what happens. That's what happens when you allow people to do what they did, and Rhaenyra has blame for it, because the bottom line is that, you know, Otto was cool with Rhaenyra being queen until she got with Daemon. And once she got with Daemon, he was like, no. We can't have this motherfucker by the throne. We can't have him by the throne. He's the next Maegor of the crew. I don't think it's before Maegor crew, but that's basically what he's thinking, right? And stuff. So it's like, you can't have all that. You can't have this whole situation going down like that when you have people that are there. She should not have married Daemon, and she would have been on Otto, would have had no reason to go after her. But Daemon gave him the reason to go after, because the bottom line is this, Phil. Let's just say Rhaenyra took the throne and Daemon was her king, right?
Mm-hmm. Or her king consort.
Her king consort, right? Would Allison's children be safe
with Daemon?
Yes.
I mean, okay. Did Daemon agreed? Who? I guess I want to hear more information about the Laenor situation. Like, did Daemon
film on stage, Phil? Jeez, I'm looking at myself, but I like myself, but not that much.
Sorry, there you go. Okay, so when
can't see you though, I can't see in case you didn't.
When I'm doing hippie activities,
okay,
I'll turn on. When Laenor, with the whole Laenor situation, was Daemon basically like, let's kill the motherfucker. And then Rhaenyra was like, actually, we could just talk him into leaving. Like, Daemon is reachable, we've seen, in the sense of like he'll listen to Rhaenyra's sensibilities. Like if she goes, there's a better way than just murdering people, like he can choose to swerve. So I do think she could probably dissuade him from murdering those children, because she let him not, or she dissuaded him from murdering Laenor as far as we know, and let him just peace out so they could be married. So he's not always gonna cut someone off initially. But to your point, Otto thinks that
this is a different situation because these are claimants to the throne, right? They were going to have a backing. There's even when she's on the throne, there are going to be some people that in this male chauvinistic land that say the firstborn son should be on the throne just because he's a son. So they're going to be backed by some high lords throughout the kingdom. So with keeping that in mind, and that would be Daemon's excuse of it all, like your throne is never going to be safe as long as they are alive, because it's always going to be somebody, just like the Blackfires had people that supported them. It's always going to be somebody who says Aegon should be king, not this bitch on the throne,
right?
In their words, right? So when you look at it like that, in the chat, I'm asking you the question too. If they had taken the throne, would Alicent's children be safe? Phil, what do you say?
Ultimately, the answer is she would need to send them far away. Because
they're not safe.
They're not safe. They're not safe. I mean, Daemon is one drunk night. I think Daemon is sensible in the way that he would agree to it. But if he was in the wrong place and heard some Hightower men talking shit in a bar somewhere, he could get drunk and run right to where those kids are living and cut them in their beds. I do think he has that in him. I guess my one argument would be that I do think when they're connected, Rhaenyra can kind of curb some of Daemon's tendencies like that. And depending on how it went after that fact, if it was a peaceful transition, maybe, but probably not. He would have gone Joffrey and killed all Robert's bastards. I agree with you.
Yeah. So when we look at it at that point, at that aspect, as a mother that Alicent is, what's the best way to protect her kids? And that is to put him on the throne. Right? That's the best thing she could do. And that's due to the fact that she married Daemon. Now, if she didn't marry Daemon, right, and somehow Corley's son was on there, I don't think they would have thought that they had that threat.
I also want to introduce, it gets mentioned and laughed at in jest, but I guess it should have been considered more than it was to have Rhaenyra eventually just marry Aegon. Like set that situation up and just connect the two of them. I mean, I forget who mentions that at some point in season 1. It's just sort of like a passing reference, and then it's just sort of like laughed off as possibly being an option. But I don't know if that would have been a possibility, but perhaps that would have been the best way to keep everybody safe, is if you just marry the two of them in the right situation. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the king would have married Corlys's daughter,
that would have helped the situation.
That would have been a better situation than they got with Alicent, right?
But Otto stepped that in.
Otto was like, "I need to fuck now."
Yeah, and to your point,
I can't be waiting 15 years. I need to fuck now.
And then it was with Otto. Like Otto knew once he bested or ousted, I should say, Daemon by sort of outmaneuvering spies and hearing him say the whole thing, air for a day stuff, and got him kicked out. It was, how do I fill in that spot? He could accept Rhaenyra in that moment, but knowing that, if I push Alicent here and he has a son, then I think he was thinking a few steps down the road. And as we all know about this motherfucking Otto guy, it's just, he's dangerous. He's
It's a Hightower Ren's tonight. It's a Hightower Ren's tonight. Fuck Otto. Fuck Otto. Fuck Otto.
Yeah, fuck that son of a bitch.
Listen, he's only as dangerous as you allow him to be.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
100%.
He's not dangerous to the point where he's doing things. If you allow him to be dangerous, then he's dangerous. But you can easily cut his nutsack off. He's clippable. You know what I mean? Damon's nuts is uncuttable. Them
Mhm.
are some steel balls. Like them
There's a
balls are steel. You can't cut that man's nuts off. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do. You can't curb him. There's no curb in him. You can't castrate him. He'll choke you. Like if Rhaenyra says something to him while she's sitting on the throne, as soon as he gets in the bedroom, will smack the shit out of her and choke, and then she
Yeah.
get back on that throne the next day with an IJ, like, I somehow I seen the light. I just changed my mind all of a sudden. Something's going on here. I have to reverse my decision.
Otto for Father of the Year, although I would say the best Game of Thrones Father's Day moment, and with all respect to House Teflon and his appreciation, I loved how one of my favorite Game of Thrones weird airing moments was the fact that the episode that Shireen was burned aired on Father's Day. Like that, if I believe so, if I'm correct, if you look back on the memory of that episode actually did air on Father's Day with the father of Westeros, the one and only true king, Stannis Baratheon.
He is the true king of Westeros.
And he's also like Father Christmas. He's like the father of the best father of the year of Westeros, Stannis Baratheon.
Oh, what a terrible time. What is still one of the worst scenes ever put on television.
Horrible. And I believe it was on, and I believe just to make it worse, Tony, I'm pretty sure it aired on Father's Day.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's funny that they did that. They're funny.
Oh, and Alicia also said also when Tywin was killed was on Father's Day. So Game of Thrones has a history of Father's Days with this stuff.
Yeah, they like to kill fathers on Father's Day. God damn it. That's never, they never asked me to visit the set. That wouldn't be the day I'd do it.
Nope. hell.
I wouldn't do it on that day and everything. That would not be what it's all about. So yeah, when you look at it, again, I think you gotta try, and maybe they do this season, not to make it justifiable what they're doing, but to make one of these ladies likable. Right? I think someone has to actually like them. And again, I don't think Alicent is likable. Listen, I look at her and I like her. I like her very much so. You know what I mean? But that doesn't make her
That's
likable.
not what they're talking. That's not exactly what you're talking about. And I would say you talked about this a little bit while I was setting up. I think that's a credit to the show, and it's also something that they'll work against this season. But I think the younger versions of the characters were very likable. Young Rhaenyra and young Alicent, the way the characters were played, I liked them a great deal. They were just there, but that didn't necessarily translate, especially in Alicent's case. It almost feels, and this isn't a bad thing necessarily because people do change, it feels like a different performance to me, like, and this person's really smarmy and hateable. And also I mean, and it's similar with Rhaenyra in that situation. I don't think it's a better or worse thing. I just think the young actors had a little bit more or just they were at a more likable stage in life, I guess.
100%. So John Haymaker says that you just like her feet. So let me tell you something, John Haymaker. If she put her 2 feet together like this and made that foot pussy, I'll fuck it. I'll fuck the foot pussy. I'll fuck her foot pussy all day. I'll take that shit down, son. I will take it. Whatever she wants, she can get from me. I wouldn't tell that woman no. I would not tell that woman no. Not unless she started to come on with some strap-on shit. Then it no. But besides that, I'm gonna do it. That's what makes her happy. That's easy for me. I'll please those feet like never before. God damn it. I'll sing a song to the motherfuckers. You think I'm Luther Vandross in this bitch? I get up in that shit so deep. I be all about it, man. You crazy? That thing is beautiful. That thing is beautiful, and you do it too. And all y'all say you win, you liars. You liars. Anything else like that? She'd have to give me that. I'm not gonna sit there. I wouldn't sit there like this clubfoot fucker and just fucking rub myself looking at them shits. That wouldn't work for me. I couldn't do nothing like that. You should have to go all the way with me. Shit, you're gonna have to go all the way if you want to have me on there, girl. You think I'm crazy? So you're gonna have to go all the way if you rocking with the Don. God damn it, that's just the way it goes. I'll wear those feet the fuck out. Shit, she wouldn't be able to. She wouldn't be able to walk. If we hitting 6, she'd be like, that chick ain't gonna be able to walk after I'm done with her. She wouldn't be able to walk after not the motherfucking all. I don't know. Not at all. Not at all. But yeah, so we'll get back to this stuff. We'll get back to it. So Phil, do you think, are you still there? You hear me? Oh. Phil had to turn off his microphone for a second, so he must be taking care of something. Maybe he's taking care of something real quick. Maybe all that talk about Alice's feet sent Phil to the bathroom to get the sock, the special sock. Maybe go out there and
Curl the toe. Curl the toe. Sorry, guys.
He's back. So I'm saying, is it possible, Phil, that from what you're seeing, that they can make one of these people likable this season?
I don't know. I mean, I think they started to a little bit at the end with Allison, as she was sort of discovering that they were in too deep in the situation, deeper than they wanted to, and sort of having an kind of moment. But when you mix that in with like the Loris foot fetish, the Laris foot fetish scenes, but no, I don't know if that's on the agenda. Like I'm not sure if they're going to try to, but yes, I do think you can make them more relatable and less just a focus of anger, battle against it, but likable in the way that you're saying. I'm not sure, Tony. I think just knowing the story a little bit, I don't think it's going to go in that kind of direction.
All right. So will it be a Caitlyn Stark situation? Like a lot of women hate Caitlyn Stark, especially in this chat right now. Right. Everyone loved Rob. Everyone loved John. But everyone hated Caitlyn. But Caitlyn was right in what she was doing, right? So will it be a situation like that where they will hate her like they hated Caitlyn Stark, but still root for her to win? Because even though people hated Caitlyn Stark, I still think they wanted the Starks to win. Like if people could have their way, Rob Stark would have sat the Iron Throne, right? If the fandom had their way,
maybe John.
I would say from the beginning when it first came out and all that, it would have been they would want Rob. I think people liked Rob more than they liked John in the first couple of seasons. I think Rob was a bigger star than John at that particular time. I think they would have rather had Rob Stark on the throne right there.
Nope, still hate Hermione's mom, says Miss Stuck in the Tall. I forgot.
Super chat from Luna. Thank you so much. In my opinion, it's important to remember the valued characters, circumstances, and actions used by that on social norm at the time and place, not ours. All right, so I hear what you're saying, and it is, you do have to look at the time period they're trying to depict, and not a real time period that's in our world, but they're trying to be at a different time, and we have to look at those things too. But still, wrong is wrong, and that's just what it is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If slavery happened and everyone did it, doesn't make it right. You know, even though that was a sign of the time, there were black people who owned slaves back in slavery. Didn't make it right because they owned them because they were black too. Didn't make it right. So I hear what you're saying. Even though you look at the times, if it's wrong no matter the times. To me, what do you think about that, Phil?
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, I was gonna sorry, someone said I have to read the chats. I hate Caitlyn's feet from the beginning. I hated Caitlyn's feet from the beginning. I remember when people were shipping Rob and Danny. I love her. 100%. I think you can only just talk about things the way you feel about them. And if you think something's wrong, talk about it in that sense. I mean, you can kind of look at the structure of where this is and what's going on in that particular world, but also, you know, just to your point, what's wrong is wrong. You know, just because everyone was doing disco didn't make it a good thing, Tony.
No, it did not. We got another.
Everyone had a mullet in the 80s. Did it look good? Did it ever look good, Tony?
It's coming back. These damn mullets. They're back.
And the
again.
80s jeans are back. Are you notice that everyone's wearing those big baggy 80s jeans?
Yeah,
now?
I do. I wish the women would get back to the Sasson jeans.
It will circle around again. It always,
Hopefully-
everything
hopefully they
circles
do.
around. Those will be in
Hopefully.
about 10 more years, Tony.
Hopefully they do. Fernandez, thank you for super chat. Happy Team Green Sunday, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Happy Father's Day.
We had to give him
Otto.
one. We had to give him
Best dad ever. You know,
Yeah.
listen, we got Team Greens in here. We got Team Black. Everyone has the right to their
Oh, I
opinion.
thought Team Green meant Celtics. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm Team Black. At that end, I'm Team Black. I thought we were talking Celtics. I'm Team Green. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, so people have the right, and I think there's points on both sides. But as I said, you know, I just think that both these chicks is unlikely. I don't like either of them. I don't want.
Do you
either
like
of them.
anyone?
Huh?
Like, and I don't mean in life. You like a lot of people.
Yeah.
But on this
Right,
particular show of all the main characters, do you find any of them tremendously likable for your sensibilities?
No. I like Corliss.
Corliss and Rainey's. Yeah,
I like Corliss. I like Rainey's. I like their kids. I like them. And it's not.
I strangely like Damon. I'm kind of with Gray. I have this strange like toward like Damon's like he's my bad boy. Like I kind of just like him for some reason. He's like Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse for me. Or something.
You don't. That's blasphemy. Mentioning his name with Patrick.
He's my Swayze in this one, Tony. I know you. I know. I circled on the sacred texts of Dirty Dancing by mentioning Swayze. But I'm saying like he's sort of he's got that little magic something for me on the show that I can't quite put, but I wouldn't say I like him. Like I think he's a good person, but
so
I just like watching him.
Let's take this. Tony said, "I'm here for everybody black." Basically, now, I just said specifically that it's not because they're black that I like them. I did say that. You heard me say that, right? I know she's playing with the LOL, but I'm saying I did put. I did say that. I said Rainey's ain't black. The only thing black in her is Corliss's dick. You know, so she ain't black, and I said her. You know what I mean?
I knew what you were gonna say, but I wasn't sure how you're gonna say that.
I was saying, Phil.
No, you gunned that. You put that in.
I was saying this shit. Y'all must not know who the fuck you is.
You downshifted when
y'all
you
must have forgot about me.
That was good.
Y'all must have forgot about the time. You know who up in this.
You're all in. You're
what it is.
You're money maker on that one. You're pushing all in.
Yeah, must not know. Who the fuck's that? What the fuck is going on here? We had to have a good time, goddamn, tonight.
Damn.
We had to have a good time. That's what we do. That's why we're the usual suspect. If you want to hear, you know, Game of Thrones, House of the Dragons coverage and everything else, you know what I mean? You got, and you want to have a good time while listening to it, you got to come here to the usual suspect. That's you want to be entertained while doing it. Usual suspect. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what it is. Thank you, Luna, for another super chat. Who seems more entitled, Allison or Rhaenyra? What do you think?
Ooh. I mean, I don't. Rhaenyra is the heir. She's the quit. Is it entitled if it's actually yours? Like you know, like she's you also need to fight for what's yours. There's something to be said about like if something's you're not letting people take it. Tony and I joke about this stuff or whatever. You know, other people doing stuff we do. Like I've been taking calls since 2014. You know, people watching our From stuff, taking calls like we're doing and stuff like that, and saying, "Oh, we just came up with a great idea. Let's take call." You know, like whatever. But like ultimately, when it comes down to it, you got to fight for your own thing sometimes, and mention that you're the person that's the thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I think in Allison's case, when she started picking up the knife and an eye for an eye and stabbing around there, that was a little like. So I would say probably in that particular question, the way that's framed, Allison would be my answer.
Yeah, Rhaenyra is born a princess, right? I don't think you can get any more entitled than being born a princess.
Oh, fair. That's a different perspective. Yeah,
I mean, this is your birthright. But you have the right to be that because this is what they have given you. This is what the world has given you. You are born like that. I mean, around my way, we called, you know, Jewish women Japs, right? Jewish American princesses. Why did we call them that? Because they felt like they were entitled to so much, right? You know, you had the gaps, the Greek American pieces, princesses, you had all of that, right? So we called them that because they felt entitled. The fact that she is born a princess means that to me, she by birthright is more entitled than anyone because you can't do anything to her.
Fair point. I feel like you lawyer tricked me into that answer, but that's a proper answer. That is a proper answer.
I
Tony.
gave you a little Johnny Cocker.
You did. The glove. If the Wookiees from Endor, you must have quit. Like you did a little something going on there.
A little Johnny in there. I got my little Johnny.
I'm with that. You won me over on that one. Oh, we got the wonderful LMR in the live chat. LMR,
what up, beautiful? I miss you so much. Hopefully you get on one of these streams with us soon. Again, call in. I want to hear from you. 518-290-0848. 518-290-0848. Unless you want to use your number, Phil.
I do have it set. Either one works.
All right, let's do your number because that way you can hear them too, and it's better on you. So let me switch it back to the
better. Do it yours. It's better.
It is better.
And if I jump out at some point or whatever, we'll switch back over the other side. But yeah, for now.
All right, so here it is. 781-990-8509. Give us a call. 781-990-8509. Give us a call. We'd like to hear from you and what you're looking forward to in House of the Dragon or anything that we're talking about here. We would love to hear you. Someone can please put the number in the chat for me in case people ain't seeing that and all that. Sorry. So let's continue with our talk about this season of House of the Dragon. I talked a little bit earlier about how Chewbacca is a Wookiee.
That's what it was. I forgot. Sorry, John Haymaker. Thank you. I messed up the line. Chewbacca's a Wookiee from Endor. You must have quit. Thank you.
That kind of doesn't make sense.
This doesn't make any sense. Look at the little monkey. This doesn't make any sense. It's from a South Park episode.
It doesn't make any sense. You know, the 781-990-8509. We're going to use Phil's phone line.
Yeah, but realistically, you can reach us with either one.
Yeah, either one. But it's easier to do it with Phil's phone line when we do it that way because in my phone line, he can't hear you. They can't hear him when he answers. On his phone line, you can hear everything.
And to answer Sonic's question, no, because he's a big baby and he doesn't like the show, so he doesn't want to come out and talk about a show that he's like, I can only talk about so many shows I don't like. So he will not be with us tonight. But we got our first call, Tony. This is from area code 936. 936. Welcome to the show. This is Larry Kino. Welcome to the show, 936. How's it going?
Hey, what's up? You guys are doing a great job, and I'm excited about the show. And just awesome, man. I'm glad it's back. It's been too long.
Yeah, I'm super excited for another season of House of the Dragon. Tony, what's some of the things that you're most excited for to see this season?
Blood and cheese.
Tonight.
You're right. I'm looking forward to seeing how they handle the blood.
Something I would be interested in.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they handle the blood and cheese situation and the reaction the fandom has after seeing it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just going to be so devastating too. I mean, like, man, I feel for it. I mean, Helena's just, man, it's like so. Aaliyah from Dune. I mean, it's heartbreaking. She's such a tragic character. But it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good. So
I love that shift you just did.
Guys, man.
I love the shift you just did. You're like, oh, it's gonna be horrible, but it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be wonderful.
Right. And that's George.
Yeah,
that's George.
No, exactly. That's the world exactly.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
You too, dude. Thanks.
Yeah, so I said this a little earlier, Phil, before you get here. So let me get your thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
With them starting off with the blood and cheese, which I said could be a high point moment, do you think it's smart for them to do that? Because when you go that high, can you only go down, or do you think that they can still keep going? You know, if you ever seen The Price is Right show, and they had the mountain climb. Remember the mountain climb? And then the motherfucker fell off the edge if he got this shit wrong. Are they getting to the tip of the mountain climber too early? What do you mean you called, Miss Duncan? Small call back. Someone was on the phone. Please call. Please call. We love to hear from you, Cece. But what do you think, Phil? Do you think that them doing this could be a bad situation because they're going so high so quick?
There's two sides to that, because the way that things are reported on or covered now, in the sense to get more, not the 200 plus people that we have in here right now talking about this show, all the people that are excited for the Song of Ice and Fire universe. I'm talking to bring in the people that are like, oh, what's going on that House of the Dragon show, the random people that have dropped off the world since the last season. They want the biggest bang that they can coming out this premiere episode. So I get them kind of wanting to full blast on this first episode, because to your point, the response from it might be big enough to bring a whole crowd of people in to watch the whole season and get into it. And I do think there are a couple of other big moments that can like keep people going. Yeah. So I do think it's an interesting choice to because we all know what's happening. Anyone who knows with the title of this episode, we all know what's happening tonight.
Yeah, they're not trying to hide it.
No. So I do think they're doing it as a way of, like, when a band starts the set off with the heaviest, biggest song first to kind of bring everyone from the back in, and then they'll play a lot of great songs in the middle, and then they'll end it off with a big bang too.
But it's got to be usually in the band doesn't, about, because you've been in band.
No, you're a musician, dude. So
yeah, but usually when people play "Don't Stop Believing," that's the last song. You don't start off with "Don't Stop Believing."
But if you're a band, I'm trying to think of what is another huge Journey song. They still start with an awesome song too,
But this is not just this may be the biggest moment of the season.
Is it? Or is what you were talking about earlier with potential dragon, like a huge dragon battle? Could that be not maybe as personal and emotional, but a bigger bang at the end of the season? So I think they're starting off with sort of like the emotional fuck with people, buzzy sort of thing that can kind of get people's eyes in, but they're going to end with a big, like a big thing, a big never seen before giant dragon battle situation. It's the three ways at the end of the season, right?
It's 3-way.
Is the 3-way, yeah. So like that's just going to be insane. And so I think that is a strong enough moment to theoretically end the season on, to balance the emotional stuff that they're going to do tonight, Tony. Because I agree, it needs to be, and I think that is at least an equal, I don't mean a Michael Bay here, like, and you're bam, and then goes bam, and then.
Mm-hmm. Someone said Journey can start with "We Are the
Any
World."
way you want it.
Anywhere you. I thought you meant that "We Are the World."
I mean, I believe Steve Perry. If you watch some of the behind the scenes of, I think Steve Perry was there too. I think
he was there. He was
got a verse.
Yeah, he has a verse in it. He has a verse in there. But he sings "The Change in Our Own Lives." And then the black dude comes, "It's true, we make a better day.
Just you and me."
So he has that line. He does have that line in that song. But I hear you. So we're saying it's going to be a roller coaster. We're going to get a really high drop, but we're going to drop off a little bit and then even out. And then we're going to have another huge moment at the end, you're saying.
Exactly. That's going to be more of a visual spectacular moment. So it's going to be like the big stage show thing happens at the end. Maybe maybe they're not ending with they come back and do one. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll stop with the band references thing. It's not working well. But yes, I do think there's just gonna have the giant fireworks at the end, literally.
All right. We'll see. We'll see. I agree that could be a game-changing moment. I don't know if it'll be the same emotional moment as when we see this tonight. It just may just be a battle of the bastards moment. You know what I mean? Now, do you think that? I don't think that could be as big as Battle of the Bastards. No. But when we look at Game of Thrones, do you? All right, and I'm gonna ask y'all in the chat real quick too, and ask for what was the best battle on Game of Thrones, so we can compare battles to see the level of the battle. What was the top battle that they did on Game of Thrones? What did you like the best?
Blackwater, probably.
You like Blackwater?
Or I also liked Hardhome. Battle of the Bastards was up there. I mean, I think there's a lot of. I think
going through two. I said one. Phil. We're gonna be.
I'm thinking about them all. Not the Long Night. I think all in all, because it was the whole episode and the way it just felt. I'll probably go with the Blackwater battle.
The Blackwater was amazing. I agree with that. I would say Hard Home to me is the best one.
In the moment, emotionally, yes.
I think hard. I mean, Battle of the Blasters was a blasted. Battle of the Blasters. Got my down south redneck going on that. Battle of the Blasters. Those bastards down there, the Blasters.
Ooh,
the
Field of Fire 2.0. That was
really good. I think Hard Home was the best. If you ask me, people are saying the Field of Fire.
That was pretty damn good too.
There was so what made the Field of Fire good was that's really the first time we got to see the dragon in battle.
And Tony, do you know what else also made it good? Not expecting it. It's sort of the way it came in the episode was just interesting. That was one of the best Dothraki moments of the series too, with all of them there, and it was an unexpected kind of moment. You had stupid ass Jaime Lannister at the end there, charging the dragon. There was just a you idiot. Probably the last awesome Tyrion moment as he's yelling at Jaime, calling him an idiot, and then Bronn drowns him and the rest of Jaime's mysteries of dream.
I just thought I don't like Jaime Lannister, but I like this scene because when Jaime did it, he knew that he wasn't going to survive, right? Because you see him, he takes a couple of deep breaths, and then he just grabs it, then he hits the horse, and then he just goes for it. You know what I mean? So I respect him for that. You know what I mean? Like he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna try to win this shit right now, or I'm gonna die trying.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill another Targaryen if it's the last thing I damn do.
Yeah, so I give him respect for that he had the balls to go out there and do that. So I give him 100% respect for that in that scene and everything else. But as for I think Hard Home is better than all of them. The fact that they lost Hard Home even makes it better that they couldn't withstand them. The Long Night, I don't put in the top at all. I thought The Long Night was whack. I don't put that in the top. It doesn't make the top. So we're looking at what you're saying. Do you think that this three-way reaches that height of Hard Home and all that? Now they have other things that's going to happen, Tumbleton and all that. But do you think that this right here would reach that level?
It's hard for me. Hard Home for me now. I agree with you about Hard Home in the sense in the way it depicted in the episode. That loss was so huge to what was going on in the show, and it was the biggest moment in all of the Game of Thrones Prime series that we saw the power of it was the moment where you actually thought you're fucked. You can't beat these guys. It's going in a different direction. I think it depends because up until now, I am really moved by the spectacle of the dragon battles, but ultimately they're giant CG creatures that are throwing each other in the screen. And I know the White Walkers are, but there's still people in costumes interacting with other people. So there's like a more of a human element of it in all of the other ones in the battles. So with the dragon battles are great for visual spectacle. My question, I mean, I guess they did at the end of last season, the way that the moment with the death of the death of the dragon. And I mean, I know I'm not good at answering your questions, Tony. No, I don't. I think this show will be different kinds of emotions, more personal, individualistic emotions, but for sheer size and epic scale of battle and all that kind of stuff, I don't think anything is going to match what the Prime series did or what Duncan Egg's going to do with the 6-on-6. 6-on-6?
Yeah, 6-on-6 is going to be amazing.
6-on-6 is maybe, if it's done correctly, going to be the greatest.
It should be the greatest trial by combat that we've seen. You know what I mean? That we ever see. I got to get Bridge the link. Hold it down for 1 second.
Oh, nice. Okay, awesome. Bridge is coming in. Let me
get
him.
He's
the live chat and get some comments. The end scene with the Night King raise. Yes, the come at me, bro moment was amazing on that. I think the desperation of Hard Home, and I think House of the Dragon will probably have some big epic scale battles and moments like that. But for feelings like that, it's going to be different, and I think that's good, and I think it's going to be interesting to see, and I hope the show does a really great job making us care about these dragons in association to I want more dragon lore about individual dragons within the series, or if they're gonna have some downtimes in between these explosions, like when we get into the dragon seeds and all that. I really want to learn about these. I want to care about these dragons, Tony, and I want to care about them in big ways. And I'm
someone in the chat put 6-on-6. Yeah, there's. I don't think it's spoilery, so I'll say in the Duncan Egg series, there is a 6-on-6 trial by combat that will happen in the show. So it'll be a trial by combat 6-on-6, and 6 people versus 6 people that'll happen in that show. So it's good. That should be amazing. Bridge 4 will be here in a second. I just gave him the link. He'll pop in a second. Bridge, we'll have Big Kev up in here in a second. All the usual. 7-on-7. I'm sorry.
No, it was me. I said I'm the one that said 6-on-6.
I'm Miss Duncan. Miss Duncan. Until you can't say nothing about that.
That mess up's all on me.
Miss Duncan the Tall has copped out of the thumb wrestle challenge with the Don Tony test line. She got nervous. Her thumbs were too small to mess with me. Rob Reezy, how you say that name, Phil? Rob Reezy?
Rob Reezy.
Rob Reezy.
We're gonna call him Rob.
Yeah, my man, all right, Reezy gave us a super chat. He said Hard Home was the best. Yeah, I think so. You know what I mean? I think it was. In the end, the whole emotional thing and everything else, I think Battle of the Bastards was amazing. You know what I mean? But at that time, we have already seen a cavalry come save the day. Right? We've seen it at the wall with Stannis when he went in there versus the Wildlings. So it wasn't as unexpected that was going to happen. You know what I mean?
And the Battle of the Bastards is filmed really well and interesting, but it also has like the giant pile of bodies just raising up like a video game in the side, like just a stack piling up. You got Rickon not zigzagging mixed in there and stuff like that. And I mean, it's fun. It's great. You have Jon facing the army all by himself. Sansa not telling about the Vale soldiers. Like there's a lot. There's some stuff that goes into that one. Visually, it's an amazing spectacle. It has a sort of Viking series kind of vibe, a surreal kind of vibe in Jon's mind as he's swimming through the stuff. I do think it's interesting, and they do a lot of filming.
Yeah, the fog of war stuff.
Yeah, the fog of war stuff, and in the perspective stuff that they played with that season. They did it later with Tyrion in the final season when he's walking around when Daenerys was destroying King's Landing, like that. And I thought they did it well in that episode. But I would say for me, it's Blackwater then Hardhome, or those two vary for me.
This is my man. Steve Jones says Teflon for president. You goddamn right should be Teflon for president. You goddamn right. I'll be up there to say, give me liberty or give me your bitches free.
And I'm going to use my position in really inappropriate ways.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, the position you do won't be inappropriate.
And by inappropriate, I mean appropriating some plants from other states into my backyard. That's what we're talking about.
There we go. That's what it is, man. Tony and Phil, 2024. Let's go, Phil. Let's run.
I'm with it.
These fucking.
Well, what could they find in my past? You know,
that not more than they found in these motherfuckers' past.
They're gonna tap into the suddenly we'll see every After Doc we ever recorded.
You know, pull them all up. Yeah. But I'll admit to it. I'll be like, such that shit. I'm about it. I'm about that life, brah. Oh, they hear nothing about y'all.
Yes, that's true. I dressed up like Nightcrawler once. And
yeah, I would tell them straight up, but like, listen, you dudes shit on yourselves. All right. The fact that I don't shit on myself makes me better for president than anyone of y'all. The fact that y'all wear diapers means that y'all shouldn't be president. You know what I mean? You don't really revert backwards in life. I mean, y'all ain't Benjamin motherfucking Button yet, right? But you're shitting on yourself here. So for that reason, we make better presidents than that.
Exactly. That's my and Jesse, that is exactly what I'm running my vice presidential campaign on. Drums and weed. I think
that's it. Our campaign will be we don't wear Depends. That's what we're on. We don't wear Depends, motherfucker. Right?
We have not signed up for AARP yet.
No, we can't get the senior coffee. Yeah, right. We can't get that yet. We can't get that damn senior coffee at McDonald's. Vote for us. We don't wear Depends.
I'm looking forward to that senior coffee though, but that's beside the point.
I might start drinking coffee when I get to see your coffee. I might start drinking. Well, man, are you ready, brother? I see you backstage. You ready? Give me a thumbs up when you're ready, all right? If you can hear me.
You or me?
Is that me?
I think it's you.
I'm gonna get rid of it. All right. I'm not gonna answer. I'll take this call in 1 second, but we got the one, the only. The suspects are back. You know who it is. Kaiser Soze is in the building. My brother, Bridge 4. What's going on, bro?
What's up?
What's going on, bro?
What's happening, guys? How are you guys doing?
How's it
I think
going?
I'm delayed. I'm looking at the wrong screen. You guys just talk for a minute. Let me get set up.
All right.
We
Who's
got
the
excited. We got excited. We
did,
jumped the gun.
I was bringing Bridge back in this thing. It is his. That's where. Who just called up on that phone? I'm gonna just drop my phone call thing, so that they can't call me on the thing. All right. So if you want to call, use the number that
call.
use a number on the screen. Don't call me on my thing. We're gonna use Phil's right now. It's on the call 781-990-8509. 781-990-8509 is the number to call. Make sure you do that call. We're waiting for you.
1-900. Call Phil and Tony.
Hey man, this Wolfman Jack. Make sure you call that number. Yeah, people in the chat too young for Wolfman Jack. They don't know Wolfman Jack was. Phil, you know Wolfman Jack, right? He's iconic. He's iconic. He's iconic. The radio guy, Wolfman Jack, and everything else like that.
Him
Guys,
and
Gray
Dr.
areas in the building, rock with us right now. Gray areas in the building, rock. Give round of applause for Gray area in the building.
Power on.
Thank you, Gray.
Power on.
I just heard like a computer voice. Power on. Power off.
That's Bridges' headset, headphones going on.
Wow, he's got stuff that like talks to him and stuff. I'm way behind in technology.
Yeah, my shit don't talk to me. My shit.
I'm stuck in like Westerosian days. So, you know, I'm
my
like,
shit just beeps at me. Beep, doot, 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 doot.
You guys, you can hear me?
Yeah, you can hear you.
I was listening to you guys on YouTube, and then I realized I'm probably like 3 seconds behind. And when I tried listening to you on the StreamYard, all of a sudden it wasn't working. Now it is.
Nice.
That's what it's Bridge. What's good, baby? Haven't seen you in a while. You look great, man. Looking good, man.
So what's happening? I've got a guest over here. I was listening earlier in your stream. I hope you're not mad at me. Your mother's over here.
Oh,
You got to her first,
you
Bridge.
motherfucker! Bridge. You crazy? You know,
Bridge
I
is
know
the
what's
motherfucking motherfucker now, Tony.
You motherfucker! You my motherfucker! My motherfucker!
Yeah. Sorry. Let's get back to the stream. My bad for like distracting and changing, of course. I know a couple minutes ago you guys were talking about the trial of 6. It's called the trial of 7 because
Well, I know that was my fault.
in theory it's like, you know, the 7 gods or whatever.
Mhm.
So in theory, if you have 7 people, the gods are more likely to have like a good response to it. Like the verdict's going to be just.
All right. Yeah. Do you think that? I mean, I think it's going to be a great. Do you think it's going to be one of the best things in Dunk and Egg?
Oh, I mean, that'll be phenomenal. I actually just recently reread the Hedge Knights, so the first of the 3 novellas. I don't really follow any news and whatnot, but as far as Dunk and Egg, I feel like they do all of what we've read so far in season 1. Like each novella could be 2 episodes, basically.
People are telling me that I should say Happy Father's Day to you now that I know you're fucking my mother.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, earlier in the stream, you're the man. Like you say, like the thing you want to be the most proud of is being a father. So sorry, we were speaking about a bunch earlier today, and I never even thought about it. Not because I didn't think you're a father. I just forgot it's Father's Day. I'm a bad son.
It's all good, man. It's all good. You know what I mean? All right, we're going to talk Dunk and Egg all night. You know, we love to. All right, Bridge, House of the Dragon, this season, episode 1. What are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, I listened to about 30 minutes of your stream, and like it seems like you're not doing spoilery, right? Not at all spoilery.
No. I mean, you could talk around it.
Okay, so I had I don't follow any news and whatnot, like casting, sets, that kind of thing. I was trying to avoid everything entirely. Like I don't even watch trailers because what's the purpose of a trailer? Trailers for their purpose, it's marketing. For us, it's either like to find out, either to get hyped or to find out if you want to watch a show. I already know that I'm going to watch a show, so I tried avoiding watching the trailers. They're on my watch later list for weeks and weeks and weeks. I finally watched one, and I saw a clip that like I kind of expected to see, but it's a little different than in the books. But like there are set locations that you wonder, like, are we going to see certain set locations in the show? And I had wanted to get that surprise by just seeing it in the show, and I saw it in the trailer, like something up north. I wish I had just seen that in the show because it would have been just so gnarly, like, oh damn, we're in the north. Like that kind of stuff. I don't know when in the season that's going to be, but apparently there'll be some stuff in the north that's cool.
Did you see the title of the first episode?
I didn't. No.
Okay, then I'm not gonna say anything. If I don't.
Is it 3 words? It's probably 3 words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 4 words, right?
4 words. Wait. Yeah, 4 words.
Or 5.
Or 5 words. Oh, I would think it's 3 words, or is it probably 5 words actually? Or I guess you
5
shorten it to 4 words. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That's gonna be like my buddy Mill. He hit me up early tonight. He's like, dude, tonight. Oh man, people who don't know the story, it's gonna be shocking.
Yeah, do you think that it's a red wedding moment for the show?
It's different, right? Without getting into details, it's just different because of like I think you were mentioning earlier with Ned compared to other shows like a Star Wars or something. With Ned, you grow to love this dude for what I think he was killed in like the 9th episode or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like you grow to love him for 9 episodes. You think he's literally the main character of the main characters, and boom, he's gone. So this one is going to be different because it's a different scenario, but there are other factors at play that make it even more tragic than Ned. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you think it will have the same effect or no? No.
It certainly won't, like you were alluding to, like it won't have like a red wedding effect. I don't think it'll be like, I don't know if it'll be the thing that causes like the world to start watching. Personally, I think the world's already watching. But
well, the YouTube views prove that that's not the case, right?
Okay.
And the Game of Thrones, you know, I talked a little bit about this with Alicia and Gray early today. You know, we're talking about million view videos people are getting. You especially, Bridge. I think you had a streak where you had like 6 videos in a row with over 2 million views. Right?
That's pretty good.
Right.
I was having a good time back then.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. I'm sure you were. So we haven't seen any House of the Dragon video from any channel reach that number. So for that reason, makes me think that it's not there yet. You know what I mean? But I think you had either 6, 7 view. Every video you put got like 2.5 million views.
I don't know about that. I was getting like 500 to 700,000.
No. I can look it up. I can look it up right now, bro. I know you had at least like a 7 straight video of every video getting like 2.5 million. I think the biggest one was like 2.9, and everyone was getting like 2.5. Yeah.
So they sort of lucked out. Like when you have a first episode, you want to have some kind of scene that people are going to be talking at the water coolers with their friends at work. You know what I mean? And you want to have that scene. The way the story's written and what they have to tell, they don't have to create something or move things along. They've basically set themselves up to have a great climax. Well, a great climax to this episode. So,
but do you think that doing this so early in the season, can they maintain that momentum through the season because it's such a huge moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Phil was alluding to something that, and then you guys are saying that it'd be mid-season. A couple of years ago, when they said it was going to be like a 3 or 4 season show, I tried mapping out in my head where I thought season 1 would end, where season 2 would end. What appears to maybe be happening based on what you guys are saying in the middle of this season. Recently, I came to that conclusion. Yeah, that's going to be a middle of the season thing, and if so, I mean, it's pretty clear how the end of the season is going to end, and that's pretty gnarly too. I think this whole season, like you said, it's 8 episodes. Almost, they're going to be bangers. Every single one of them. This is going to be great. This is top tier television. Absolutely.
You know, Bridges here. I'm going to take a shot in honor of Bridges.
Ooh, I might have to get some boost. We do have a call. This is area code 857. Welcome to the show. Who are you, and what is your question?
What's going on, man? My name is Jalen, 23 years old from Boston.
Welcome, Jalen.
I don't really have a question. I just have a statement, man. You guys are like the unks of the House of the Dragon community for me or whatever. I've been watching since I think Game of Thrones season 8 came out, and it was a disappointment to watch it live, but I watched 1 to 7 for like 2 years. I just wanted to say I appreciate y'all and all the content y'all do. It's like you got like ESPN is like they have like Charles, Kenny, and Shaq. You guys are like that for me. So
nice.
Oh, thank you.
That's all I want you to say.
Thank you.
Listen, man, I appreciate
Go
you.
Celtics too. I'm also Boston as well. So.
Oh, nice. Man, I'll just keep watching. I just want to say thank you guys, man.
I appreciate. Who would we be in that? I mean, who am I? Charles? Right, Charles?
You would be Charles, yeah.
I'm Charles, and Bridges Shaq.
I-
Bridges Shaq, and you would have to be.
I'd be
Kenny.
Kenny in that situation. I'm EJ. I'll be EJ.
So I'm the one that gets like tackled into a Christmas tree.
Right, yo, you the biggest motherfucker of us all.
Yeah,
Well, that's not you. You got to be Shaq.
You're the biggest.
between the two of you guys, there's Shaq and Barkley. You can figure that out yourselves. I'm Kenny and EJ going on.
Yeah, right. Well, Bridges is Kaiser Sose, so I get to be Barkley.
Yeah.
In that equation. We have a voicemail from Cece. Let's check that out.
Hi, friends. This is Cece. I'm calling from Texas. Yeehaw! Thank you so much for all the amazing content in advance. I am just so glad to be back in the world of Ice and Fire. I am looking forward to see everything that we book creators already know that it's going to happen, plus more. Like, I am ready to be surprised. I am ready to have those moments like Vagar, patron Mark accidentally killing Luke, or seeing Laenor escape, like all those things that we cannot take for granted, that we still have the ability to be so amazed, and just to be hanging out with all of y'all beautiful people. Okay, have a great day. Bye.
Oh, thank you so much for the
We
call.
love you, CC, Miss Duncan the Tall. Thank you so much. All right, well, let's go through that, Bridge. Are you looking? Would you? Let's say this. We've read the books. We know what's now. They do some things like obviously they showing the wall. We know that's gonna happen. Are you looking forward to seeing that? Different things that happen at the wall. I mean, obviously, he's flying the dragon to the wall. Will the dragon interact with the wall? Is there some voodoo in the wall? Do you think they'll do that? Are you looking forward to seeing stuff like that?
I guess I'll answer in two ways. First off, just the books are written from they're sort of like a history of what happened. It's not necessarily the true history. So there's a lot of things like something like the Laenor in season 1 that could be that might be the best example, but there are things in the books where they're sort of like they'll throw out 3 different points of view of what actually took place, and now we're seeing what took place, at least in this iteration of the show, of the story. So that's just one thing. There's things, it's so vague in the books, we'll be able to see what actually happened in these scenes, the conversations, the emotions, blah, blah, blah. Or something like, a good example is with Luke and Aemon, right? Technically, that could be what happened in the books. Maybe that's not George R. R. Martin's original intent, but it's so cool when you read something in the books, you have this vision of what actually happened, you see it play out in the show, and it's totally different. So I think stuff like that's gnarly, right? Now, as far as like the wall, the wall is extra special because as far as I know, like it's not the wall in the books. There would be scenes at Winterfell in the books. However, the wall's really special because we go back to like Good Queen Alysanne. She went on a couple excursions and she flew up to the wall. And there were some issues up there where she was trying to fly her dragon north. And I think it did cross the wall. So it's not like there's a force field, but it would come back like it was scared. It didn't want to go north. So there is gnarly stuff with dragons and the wall about, let's say, 50, 60 years prior to House of the Dragon. So it's pretty sweet that we're going to see another dragon, hopefully another dragon up there at the wall and see how it behaves. It's going to be, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, so we see. Oh, go ahead, Phil.
Oh, no, just because that's an excellent point about the way that the books are set up in the sense of even different than the main series where we're hearing it from different people's perspectives, but in a similar way that we're hearing people or reading people telling us a story. So you get like the multiple perspectives for each situation. And that sets up a really great situation for this show for adaptation because you do have a lot of that gray area, no pun intended, to kind of be able to play with the narrative.
Oh, and going back to point 1. So the walls is just a very unique thing that they changed. That's cool. But going back to point 1 is that there are times during the Fire and Blood story in the books. It's actually from a novella called The Princess and the Queen, The Blacks and the Greens, from a compilation called Dangerous Women. But that story, like every now, like it's kind of just listing stuff, and all of a sudden you get to a spot where it lists 3 different points of view. And stuff that happens up north is one of those spots where there's a couple different accounts of what happened. So we're going to get some answers, and that's pretty awesome.
So what do you think about situations like the Song of Ice and Fire inside the dagger? Like we had no indication of anything like that happening in the books. Were you still happy that they did something like that?
Absolutely. Like I had theorized a while ago. I was like, Aegon the Conqueror. he's the it was like he's the 5th generation or 6th generation of Targaryens to live on Dragonstone, and they didn't conquer Westeros. They were still living on Dragonstone, right there near Westeros, but they were still looking east, back towards Essos. So all of a sudden, Aegon the Conqueror, he conquers Westeros, but he didn't do it until he's 27 years old. Like when he's 15 and 20, he's got this huge dragon. And so I was thinking to myself all the time, I'm like, all right, so he's lived there his whole life. He's got a big ass dragon. His sisters have big ass dragons. Then he goes on this excursion. One of the places was Old Town. So I had theorized that he had read something in a scroll, found out about like a White Walker's prophecies doom, and as a result, he decided he's going to unify the realm. So my theory was like on the right track. But what the show did is they made it even better. It's like he had Aegon was a dreamer. So like when that came out, and then he's got the glyphs and the dagger, like I actually loved it. It's really cool because it sort of ties into the current story, the future story of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I don't mind them doing that at all. I think that book purists, who say stuff like that, if it brings something flavor to it, let's go with it. Why fight it? You know what I mean? I like it. I like the way they did it. It doesn't hurt the story in any way.
And it helps people that maybe just watch the original series have something that ties them into this series. It doesn't hurt anything, and it can possibly help casual people that are into the series having some sort of association from the original series that they saw. So
let me just say the super chat real quick. Emma Luna, thank you so much. As Emma's death was shocking on episode 1, season 1. That was shocking too. We hadn't gotten a chance to know it. It was shocking, but I don't know if it had the emotional impact of a Red Wedding, of a Ned Stark, or anything like that. I mean, it wasn't. We've seen better blood deaths already happen in Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? So, and I don't think anyone had any chance to care about her. So that no one really felt for her. I think more felt for her daughter more than herself. And the fact that the way they did it to her was kind of butchery. Like it was kind of foul the way the king was like, all right, save the baby, fuck her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it was more of that situation.
Okay, you do that.
That woman's that actress's screams were just brutal though. She was great. She was awesome.
No doubt about
it. I was going to say about, I absolutely love this whole Song of Ice and Fire thing in the show, because not only does it add to something like Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra's got this, like, part of her doing this whole wanting to get the throne back is that she feels like she has to keep the realm together for this prophecy.
Yep.
That's not something that I had thought about when I was reading the books. Now, just as a book reader too, it's real fun to, like, when you're thinking about other, like, when does this story stop getting passed down, if at all, right? So how does it get, like, at what point does it not get passed down to a child? We don't know. But if in theory, if it does somehow continue to get passed down, then it's like you have other bad people, like an Aegon the Fourth, like he's a madman, lusty. That's probably just in his nature. But you can start like Mad King Aerys. Did Mad King Aerys know about this? And was he having visions? Is that what the wildfire? Like, there's all this cool stuff that can come from this.
The way they tried to explain it with Rhaegar, from what I remember, is that Rhaegar read some scrolls, and after reading the scrolls, he said, "I have to learn to be a fighter." Right, because he felt that he was going to be the prince that was proud. So the way they were explaining in the books wasn't that he got told the prophecy, but he researched it himself, and then he realized, wait a second, that's me. I got to learn how to fight. These motherfuckers is coming. Well, we're gonna get our ass kicked. And then that's when he started saying, I got to put this harp down. Push it to the side.
Stop writing songs.
I gotta stop doing this because it ain't gonna work. I can't. When you in this, we play video games. You got to be the fighter. You got to be the warrior. You know what I mean? You can't be the bard in the game. It don't work with being the bard. Just a second, he's trying to be on the battlefield. Now they feel like you may be the bard.
You can be a healer. I can be a healer. I'm gonna be.
Yeah, you're the healer. I'm Bridge on the front line. Me and Bridge on the front line.
I'm a support. I'm a support soldier right here. Let me heal you guys up and make you laugh.
But yeah, that is one of the things I'm excited to see throughout all these seasons. This whole dream, this Song of Ice and Fire, it may get lost during the House of the Dragon, during the Dance of the Dragons.
Yeah, because the dagger didn't come back. I mean, I wish they had the dagger in every show that they do. That dagger finds its way somehow in every show. Like that would be great to me. Like somehow when they
Oh, and Duncan Egg.
yeah, like Duncan Egg, somehow someone has the Blood Raven has
Blood
the
Raven
dagger.
would have
Yeah. Oh, he probably would have it.
We
Yeah.
have
He
the
would be the
dagger
one
in
that would
there.
have
And if you do Aegon's Conquest and Visenya, someone has the dagger. I
Mhm.
hope somehow they
Just
put
cut their
that dagger
meat with
in
it or something.
every fucking show. And I don't care if book people hate it or whatever, but I think they should have that dagger in every show they do. There should be some type of dagger. You know what I mean? In that show and everything.
It's
I mean,
like the
goddamn,
feather and
Carla Way
force.
got the dagger tattooed on her arm. For that reason, we deserve to see it in every show. Goddamn it! All right, because that's committal right there. She committed to that dagger and everything else, and that's what it is and stuff like that. And as soon as I said it, there she goes, right there, right? She got the tat of that guy.
Oh, does she?
Yeah,
I didn't
she-
realize that.
no, yeah, she's got the dagger tag right on. I know, yeah, she's got a tattoo right on her arm. I get with Facebook friends, so I see it all the time and stuff and everything else. But yeah, she has that dagger tattooed on her and stuff. All right, going through this right now, season 2, House of the Dragon, the usual suspects back in the building. We are here rocking out with all y'all. Thank you all for rocking with us. We ain't going nowhere. We still got some time. We're gonna keep it going and stuff. We're gonna keep you up to 8:30, so then you can go off and get ready, get your popcorn and everything else, get ready for the show and all that good stuff. All right, continuing. I don't think we have aside for Bridge. Bridge, are you black or you green supporter?
I was just looking at the super chats here, and I was going to pause and ask you guys the same question. So I'll answer in 2 ways. When I read the books the first time, and probably the first couple times, I was Team Black all the way. The show, I think, makes it's just really tragic. There's so many misunderstandings and whatnot. So I could see myself, if I was a show watcher, going either way. But after I read the book, so before the show came out, after I read the books a few times, or actually not even after I read the books a few times, just as you get further along in the story, I'm team neither of them. I'm team small folk. Like this whole dance is very tragic and it sucks.
I'm close to that.
It's the
I'm team
Sundown-
good show.
Yeah, Sundown's Club. Visenya had Dark Sister. What does that mean? That means she can't have a dagger on her hip, also, because Arya had Needle. She still had the dagger, right? You can have you can have 2
Ooh.
weapons. You don't have to just have one weapon. You can rock 2 weapons. I mean, Blood Raven gonna have Dark Sister. Doesn't mean he can't have the dagger on his hip. Jamie Lannister had a sword, but he stabbed that dude in the eye with a dagger when he did the kill shot to him. Usually that's the way warriors go into battle. You have-
Michelangelo didn't just have the nunchucks; he had that little spinny hook thing too. Then even the Ninja Turtles had backup weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick. So
Sorry.
kind of like I was saying earlier, how you read the story and like things are open to interpretation. So when I read the story, there's a certain person. I'll be very vague here. That there's different sizes: the blacks, the greens. Then there's branches of them. Some people are like halfway loyal, full loyal. The small folk are the major victims. There are like sort of small folk uprising at times. Now, when you're reading the Fire and Blood, it's written by a maester, like whatever, a long time in the future, based off of past accounts. A person that's sort of a leader of small folk at one point in the story is painted as sort of a nut job. I thought about this either today or yesterday. I was like, I'm actually looking forward to that person being a very sympathetic character. That it's like a completely different person than the way I read it in the books. That would be pretty gnarly since I'm team small folk.
All right. You always been team small folk.
Yeah, it's the first line of a video I was trying to put out today is about talking about everyone choosing their houses and most people Starks, Targaryens. I'm like, I'm team free folk.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a case to be made for both sides. I see the case. I think that
Yes.
Alicent's case is that as long as Daemon is there, her kid's life are always going to be, on the line. So she's got to do what she's got to do. She
Yeah,
also, might really believe that this guy, when he was delusional, really meant what he was saying.
of course.
That he really changed his mind. So it could be two situations like that. Did the king want his daughter to take him? 100%. That's not deniable. He came out there, hobbled, one eye, limping, and said, "Why are we having this discussion? This shit's already been decided."
Yeah.
We already talk about this shit. You
Yeah,
asshole.
like, God damn, I'm about to die. And in my last breath, I got to come back and talk about shit I already talked about.
Mhm.
But he still did his duty to do that. So there's no doubt that's who the king wanted. And if you want to go by who the king wanted, then you would say that's the case. But let's go to Game of Thrones real quick. Robert Baratheon. while
Okay.
writing the will, he specifically told Ned Stark that Joffrey should take the throne. And Ned Stark changed it. He changed the king's words. So when Joffrey was on the throne and Ned brought that paper up, that paper was bogus. It was doctored. So it didn't have to be ripped up. It was a lie, right? And he was trying to gas
Ned
people
cheated.
because he was supposed to be so honorable. But when his honor was put to the test, it didn't pass the bill. So if you want to go by that, then you have to say that Joffrey had the right to the Iron Throne. If you want to back Rhaenyra, you got to say you got to back Joffrey too. It's just what it is. You can't have it both ways, right? So the old people, Rhaenyra's fans, y'all have to say Joffrey deserves to be the king because that's what the
Oh,
king
that's
wants.
funny.
It's the truth, right, Prince? That's
No, you're perfectly logical, but it's just funny. Sorry, so this is like these cracks are from my voice this morning. I didn't have any voice this morning. But that's so funny. Like everyone who's on Team Black right now, you're like basically you're on Team Joffrey too. That is funny.
There you are. You have to be. If not, you're very hypocritical. I hate
I'm
you.
sorry.
Oh, so I just rewatched 6 through 10 today. So I'm just gonna point out something that I had forgotten about. So in the very last scene or whatever, it might have been the second to last episode. It was the last episode. Yeah, the Black Council. So right now, going into season 2, not only did what happened to Luke, Damon, who loved his brother, thinks that they killed his brother. There's so many misunderstandings in this story.
Yeah, with
You know
the
what I mean?
scene
I
thing.
love it. What's up?
I just watched it too, where he thinks that they were like poisoning him or forcing him on the.
Well, so when Rhaenys flies back and she's like, "Hey," and she walks into the room and Rhaenyra says something to her, the very first words out of Rhaenys' mouth is, "Viserys is dead." Like she just cuts her off. Like we got to get to business. Rhaenys is awesome, love her. But then immediately Damon's like, "They killed him." You know, so he has no idea what actually happened. We know what happened, which is that like Alicent, it was very weird that they got together in the first place. There are multiple times during season 1 where, like, yeah, she's not the best wife to him, but she loves him. Like, maybe not, that would have been her favorite choice probably for a lover. But like when he's walking up to the throne in that scene, she's like, you can see this tears in her eyes. Like she knows how much pain he's in. Like when she's giving Milk of the Poppy to him, she's not really like, yes, her and her father are taking over control of the city, but she also is giving it to him because she genuinely doesn't want him to be in pain. And at the very end, we saw her at the bed with him. Like she loved the guy, you know what I mean? So yeah, she didn't poison him, and Damon thinks that they killed him.
Yeah, 100%. No, she definitely had love for him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't know if she's in love with him. You know, because she's fucking this other guy and having this other guy's kids. I think she probably loved Harren Strong. I think she probably was in love with him, but couldn't be with him due to politics. And Sir Kristen Cole, you know, wouldn't accept his role. Like he was like, "Is you gonna be with me or nobody else? Let's run away and let's live off the land. I can hire my sword, and you could give up the castle, and you might sleep on straw. You might not eat for a few days, but we got each other, girl. Don't worry about it." This bitch is like, "Nigga, please.
I can show you.
Are you crazy? I'm the goddamn princess of this. You want me to give it up for your shit, motherfucker? Your dick wasn't that good, son. Come on, man. I ain't giving that shit up. Are you crazy?" And that's what happened. And he got all butthurt about it. But this dude, I think Harlan Strong, I think she actually cared about him because he was willing to play his part.
Yeah.
He knew the role. He was like, "Listen, I know we can't be together in public, but I love you." For after he came back with that blood on her, after she killed that stag, he seen it and said, "That's my woman." Right with that, you can see it in his face. He was like, "That's my woman right there. That's who I want." And he was willing to play his part because he knew in the end, even if they're not together, it's his bloodline that's going to sit the Iron Throne. And he was cool with that. This being the side piece.
I love that scene as she comes back with the blood, all bloody with the boar. You see, I always forget the Lannisters' names. There's Tywin Lannister, and what's the other one?
It's like they got the same name, them idiots.
Yeah, the twin.
Yeah, it's the same name. It's
someone in the chat will.
I was thinking about it today. I was forgetting the brother's name. Is it a G?
No. It's like it's the same name. I know it right now, and I can't see it.
Jason.
Jason, it's Jason.
Oh, that's
Okay.
Jason Lannister. All right, yes, you're
Thank you,
correct.
Delta.
Okay, so Jason, like, he was the one that was hitting on her, right? Yeah, Jason. So he was trying to like flirt with her earlier in the day. She comes back all bloody, carrying a boar. You look at him, and he looks up, sees what's happening, and he's like, "Ew."
Yeah, he has the bad lunch face. He's like,
Yeah. And then Harwin, he's ripping up like he's skinning a rabbit, and he's just like, like, he thought it was so hot.
Yeah, I guess that nigga. Now you got me talking regular. Yeah, I guess he ain't never been with a woman on her period. If that's gonna shock him or anything else like that, I guess he's just like, you better get in the shower, girl. You know, come fucking.
"How rude!"
I
She
can't
brings
do
bloody
that. Are you
meat from you.
crazy? Are you crazy? It's not the time. I can't do that. Now listen. So Harwin Strong was about that life and everything else. Jason Lannister is about his life. He's just, that's just what he is. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it goes with him. That's why she couldn't fuck with him. He wasn't man enough for her in the end. You know what I mean? Like when she was going around and you looked at all the suitors that was there for her, you could tell that they just didn't have that man in them for, because that's what it seems like she likes. She likes that dominant male, all right?
Mhm.
Everyone else went there kissing her ass too hard, and that's not a dominant male. That's just someone who's just kissing, and she didn't want that. She wanted someone to take the pussy. You know what I mean? Like Pepe Le Pew. Like she wanted that style man, and Harwin Strong and Damon are that type of guy. And that's who she's attracted to, and that's what she wanted. These other people are like, I'll give you the world. I'll make sure that you never have to do this. I'll get it. She's like, next.
I can give you the world.
Next. And Harwin Strong was like, listen, girl, I'm gonna take you, I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna pick you up by your legs. I'm gonna put your face right here. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna slam you over. And she said, yes. Take me, Harwin. Take me. She about that. That's what she wanted. That's what she wanted. And that's what you gotta give her. That was the problem. That was why she doesn't like those motherfuckers, man. I'm telling you, that's the type of man she was after. That's what she got. So it said big dick energy. Yes, right. That's what you gotta have. That's what she was looking for. She wanted a man, and that's what she got when it was all said and done. So, that's why I just wasn't going to work. Did I make up that word? Did I come up with that?
What's the word? Say it.
Foot pussy.
Are you combining them? Is it hyphenated?
No, that's what I called it. I said if Alice had put her 2 feet together, like that. I said that I would fuck her foot pussy.
Oh, that is great.
That seems like it's probably a thing that I don't know if that's what it's called, but
maybe I'll make a T-shirt for that for y'all.
One little thing I'm looking forward to there, because like I always say, I was voted most easily amused in high school. Like I'm very easily amused, but I don't like over the top comedy. Like Will Ferrell, he drives me nuts. It's the small stuff that I like. So like the Jason Lannister, his little like ew, that made me laugh. But it's one actor, right, that does both of the twins. So Tyler Lannister in the throne room, when Cole smashed down the person's head, then the Lord Commander pulled out his sword, and then Chris and Cole pulled out his sword, so they're facing off. Tyler Lannister, the way he stands up, it's just these little things that this actor does. I find them hilarious. So I'm looking forward to Tyler Lannister doing just some very subtle humor in this.
He has like these. He's like,
yeah, he stands up. He's like, oh, it's pretty awesome.
But it gives it just gives the Lannisters a bad name.
It really does.
Because they're what we've seen in Game of Thrones, they're nothing like that. They try to make them look pompous and uppity, and and when you look at Tywin, Jaime, Tyrion, any one of them, Cersei, they did not come across that. They may have had that money, but they were still gangster.
I mean, part of it is that this is the pre-Tywin taking over Lannister. This is the Lannister family that eventually almost laid in ruins until Tywin came in and pretty much saved the day, essentially.
I think that's a great point, though, because people often associate houses as being a certain way, when really, like, it's generational, or even within a generation, you have different personalities. Like the Strong Boys. The Strong Boys are very different. Or Tywin Lannister's father was like a very just nice, peaceable, generous guy. I probably would have loved him, and Tywin Lannister hated him.
Yeah, but the Starks seem to be consistent, right?
They do kind of seem
them consistently the same way. these
Boring.
rugged Northmen, these rugged barbarian Northmen who just want to wrestle bears and stay in the cold and everything else. Like it's always the same. Everyone else, you're right. They change, they do it, but the Starks, we'll see tonight when they show this dude, right? If they show them, is it going to be tonight or whenever they show this
Tonight
Stark?
or next week, maybe. Either way.
It's got to be early on, because if this happens in episode 1, he's got to get back for the funeral, which would probably be episode 2. So you would have to assume that they have to show that scene this episode.
It's coming today.
Unless they're going to start doing time warping, and they're going to have wormholes in Westeros again.
Mhm.
And just have people just showing up wherever the fuck they want to show up if they're going to do something like that. You know what I mean? But if not, then it has to be this. It has to be right off the bat.
So real quick though, like Jon Snow is kind of like a Ned Stark, but keep in mind, like we didn't meet Ned's older brother, Brandon. Brandon was nothing like Ned. Yeah, they both followed the old gods and whatnot. And I'm sure they had some of the same personality and customs, but they were totally different type of dudes.
Yeah, he
Like
was like Harlan Strong, I would think.
Yeah.
Brandon is. Just a wild man out there.
Yeah.
Like
Was he more outgoing, essentially, too?
He's taking the pussy like Pepe. He was a Pepe type dude.
As Lady Dustin said, "Oh, he loved to use his bloody sword."
Yeah,
because he
And
took her
said-
virginity.
He said he loved to look at it. He liked the look of the maiden's blood on his sword, I think is what she said. He just looked at it and was like, yeah.
He's doing the Burt Reynolds dance.
He's over here jumping up and down doing the helicopter. Like,
yeah.
it's a helicopter blade. That wasn't invented yet. But you know what I'm talking about, bitch. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh my. Oh my.
He was about that life. He was about that life. That's why that whole theory that Bar de Porto, God bless you, Bar de Porto, my first ever partner, came up with.
Congratulations.
That Rob was was really Brandon's son and not Ned's son. That was a whole thing, that Brandon wouldn't have agreed to marry Catelyn unless he hit it first. Like the man that we know him, that he would have had to try it first, before he married her. And that when he did try it, he got her pregnant and she was there and stuff. And then she
I see.
Then he got killed. And then while she was pregnant, she married Ned. And that's if you go look at the video I did and everything, look the one Bar did back in there, because all the time, if you read the books, she always calls Rob her son. She never says her and Ned's son.
Like our son.
Yeah, she never says our son. She always says that that's her son, my son Rob, my son Rob. She never puts Ned in there.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked at like a time frame, but she did. I think Rob was actually born in River Run. Maester, not Aemon, Maester Lewin. Good old Maester Lewin. He was down River Run. He came north with them. So yeah, maybe the timing works out.
It works out because he got killed right then. Ned went down there, escaped, came back. Before he can go down there and fight, he had to marry her. Like that was the deal, that he married her right then. And then the rules, everyone got to go in the room with you and watch you get it on. You have it, and she already pregnant and done deal. So it would fit. And sure, 9 months, if it came a little bit early, no one would say anything. It had all the Stark features because it was Brandon. You know what I mean? And so it makes sense that that's what happened and everything else like that, when it's all said and done. But y'all check out that video. I did it on mine, but it's Bar's theory. I just retold it and stuff on my channel. I think it's called Catelyn's Secret or something like that. But I give the facts that Bar pointed out and everything else and all that good stuff and everything else. Grown for You said that red wedding made me cry. I thought the red wedding, let's talk about this real quick. I thought the red wedding played out better on the show than it did in the books. Do you think that this son for a son situation will play out better on the screen than it did in the books?
Yeah, because the books the books are just an account of what happened, as opposed to a Song of Ice and Fire books. They are actually what happened. So the Fire and Blood books are a real disadvantage to storytelling in general, just because of the way it's told, the nature of it. Now, as far as like the Red Wedding, that also had the extra fact that part of the whole scenario is the fact that Catelyn hears the song. Why am I drawing a blank here? I haven't spoke Game of Thrones in a while. She hears a song about Tywin Lannister, the Reigns of Castamere.
Yeah, they play the
So,
Rage.
so music is actually a part of the story and part of the, I should say, part of the plot. So the fact that it's a show and you can actually have those people playing the music and then her looking up and being like, why the hell are they playing the Reigns of Castamere and my son's wedding? Oh crap, this is bad. So that was cool.
Yeah. And what about you, Phil? What do you think?
Yeah, I also think like scenes like this, for me anyways, the visual medium and having everything happen all at the same time from a shock standpoint really hits home and hits hard for people that are watching that for the first time or experiencing for the first time. So I agree with you. I think in that kind of thing can really just drive the dagger in when you're watching it in person.
And the babies too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally. And that addition to it was really extra.
And, and people
well.
complained about that. Oh, she's not supposed to be there.
It's a different person.
It's
a different person.
It's a different person, and she still has a part to play.
Rob's had honor. He was tricked in the books.
She has Rob's will in hand. She needs
Rob an asshole.
Yeah, like any will we've seen has held weight. Like it's really gonna matter. Like it's really gonna matter. A dead piece of paper. Come on, man. It made it more dramatic having it like that, getting stabbed with the chick in the belly and the baby and everything. That made it even more dramatic that they did that. That helped the scene. That's what I said. It was more grasping than the actual story in the book to me. Like it affected me more.
It was so graphic too, and that addition was
when they showed Rob with the Grey Wind's head on his body, and they would go in there. The kid comes, the king of the north. Like that was more graphic to me than what I read, and everything else.
Plus, the actors are just so good. Then you get to witness like Arya Stark's face outside as she sees that. Like, and this little actress, Macy Williams, is brilliant. Inside, Catelyn Stark, like Rob Stark, Lisa, just their facial expressions and whatnot. That scene, I mean, that's top class television.
Yeah, and then he's just like, the Hound shows up.
The Hound in that scene too.
I tell you, a scene that that gets overlooked real quick for Game of Thrones. I know we're talking House of Dragon, but the Hound Beric fight, I think it's overlooked as one of the greatest fights in Game of Thrones history as one-on-one battles. That battle between Beric Dondarrion and the Hound was amazing, especially again you talk about Macy Williams. Just her in the background, kill him!
Yeah, she's so psycho. I love it.
She's a little psycho. She's like, kill him! And she just wanted him dead. The Hound at that point.
Yeah. I think she actually ran up to him and someone had to grab her. I don't think it was Gendry. Maybe it was like Thoros. So someone grabbed her. I think she was running over to stab him.
And the Hound just chopped that fucker right in the head. Chopped him down. And he was scared of the fire blade. He's still, even with the for the fire going on. That was a great fight. I think again that gets overlooked and lost in the shuffle with Game of Thrones of how good that was.
Especially because the Hound has so many good fights, and the Brienne in his fight is so well done, and that gets a lot of praise as it should. So some of his other one-on-ones get a little and of course, even whether it was good or not, like him and the Mountain at the end. So people tend to overlook that one, but I agree that's a really good, especially in really great early Game of Thrones moment. One of the first.
Says, I want to see an equally good fight scene between Arik and Eric. Do you think that will be that good of a scene? What do you think?
Well, I'll say this. I won't even directly answer that question, but it's I do love the fact that they've changed Eric and Eric in the show. In the books, Eric is one of the Kingsguard that's already over at Dragonstone, whereas this, it's like they have them together. They're going on a mission, and we see why they split apart. And then he actually is part of getting the crown over there. I think it's Darklyn in the books that brings the crown over there. So I just like the fact that they've expanded on his character in the show. It just makes this like microcosm of the familial wars even better.
What about you, Phil?
It's going to be interesting, and a lot of it's going to depend on to what you were saying about making characters likable and more relatable is the lead up to it, how much we care. Because I think anything can be a good visual spectacle and whether it's going to be good. But I think when you get into these fights, as much meaning and emotion behind it, especially when you're dealing with two brothers fighting, they need to emotionally build this up as much as give us a visual spectacle. And I hope they do it. I'm excited to see them see what direction that goes.
You know, it's funny. So at some point I had seen like a cast photo of Eric and Eric prior to season 1, and they were like, they must have been really old, like photos of them, because it was like 2 15-year-old boys with short hair, like no stubble on their faces. I don't even know if and I was like, how are these guys going to be Eric and Eric? But then apparently that was just old pictures.
Yeah, I say Alicia said I want off this ride. No, you don't, girl.
Yeah, what does she mean by that? I saw that.
Yeah, no, she likes to ride.
I think
she likes to ride. Yeah, I want off this ride. They always, you know, they want off the ride. They like to ride. Everybody having a good time.
She goes by the name Alice, by the way.
Huh?
I think she goes by the name. She prefers Alice.
No, I'm not Alice. I'm not.
She's not Alice. Not Alice.
Shout out to Alice.
Oh, she already said hello to my sun and stars to you earlier, and then when you first popped up, and then when you were fixing your things, you probably didn't see that and everything. She gave a shout out to you and everything else, and she said specifically right here,
her name's Alice,
not Alice,
but she's being sarcastic there, not Alice.
Right, you can hear
Alice.
You can hear the sarcasm to the tone. Not Alice. Come on,
not Alice, please.
It's like a reverse not.
Not Alice. It's not happening. It's Alicia, not Alice. All right.
So can I ask you a question, or may I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course. It's your show.
Okay. Larry's the Clubfoot. Like I know that there's some like. Do you think he's a green seer, a warg? Do you prefer if he is or he isn't?
No, he's not. He's not any of those things at all. I mean, what is he? What is he warging? What? I mean,
rats. Like, is he spying on people through rats? Remember, I think some people were talking about that last year.
I think that what happens in these shows is that, well, I'll say this about YouTube. Let me just put it like that. I think what happens in the YouTube community when people come up with these theories, number one, I think that people need a theory to come up with. They find a straw, they grasp it, and they run with it. Nothing wrong with it. That's what you want to do. If you have enough evidence, I would believe it. I think that's where it goes. But in the books, and then anything else that we've seen, anything he's done can be explained away by what he's done. That's like saying Varys is a warg, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
exactly.
he's warging things because people don't know how he has all the information. But we see that he has a networks of kids that without tongues. That's why he's able to get.
And he's kind of a shapeshifter, moving from costume to costume. Knows
how
to
and he's an actor. He shapeshifts into different costumes, so it's all believable. But the people don't see it, so it looks mystical. And I think Loras is the same way. We have not seen any shapeshifters or wargers up until this point that did not come out of the north. Number one, warging is a term that happens when you shapeshift into wolves, right? That's what a warg actually is. So you have to go into a wolf to be a warg. We have never seen him do anything like that. So his line has never had any type of power mentioned that they do it. The Stark line has. We know how the Stark line has because they took the wives of the Warg King, and the Starks married into the Warg King's wives. He took after he got killed. They took all of his sisters or wives, whatever, and they all married them. So we see that the Starks themselves inherently didn't have this power, but they married into a bloodline that gave them this power. So we have not seen anything with the Strongs in the history that they would have anything like that. So I just think that he's just sneaky. People can't figure out what he's doing, so they're grasping at something why it's this way. Other than that, it's exactly what is going on there.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I totally agree. Like, basically, he's a major player in this story, and if you give him extra powers, it doesn't take away from his accomplishments and mistakes, but it's more impressive that he does these things without any special powers. He's just a major player.
And here we have the voice of 916. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Phil. How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing good. I'm doing well. It's good to see all three of my favorites together. It's wonderful. I'm so excited for the season to start. But I did have a question. Do you think that with all the battles and different activities coming up this season, do you think we'll have time for character development as we did in season 1? Because it was so important to fill out those characters of Damon, Eamon, Rhaenyra, why they did what they did, and giving us an opportunity to get to know behind just the encyclopedic writing of the book, Fire and Blood. So I'm looking forward to the character development. Do you think that they'll have time for that? And if they do, which characters would you like to see more developed as to why they did what they did?
All right, Bridge, you want to answer that question?
Yeah, so like there's plenty of room for them to do character development compared to the books. For example, in episode 1 today, we were mentioning someone earlier that we think will be in it in the North or whatever. It's basically a one sentence, it's like 3 or 4 sentences in the books, but effectively bullet points. Today, we're gonna at least get 1 full scene, maybe 2 full scenes. So, and yeah, there's gonna be character development that's not in the books for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think we will have character developments. It won't be the characters that we already seen. We have Alicent has a brother. I don't know if he's going to be in this season. He has to be in the show. It doesn't work without him being in the show, in my opinion. So if he is in this season or that, so I would think that Alicent's brother would be the one who gets if they show him this season, would be the big character development that we get.
Yeah. I think we need to. I think that's a big element of the Song of Ice and Fire universe with these big moments. We still need to take those times for those character development stuff. So 916, I really do hope we do.
Actually, and there's one specific character. No, there are multiple characters that have yet to appear in the show that should be at some point entering the show. And I'm really looking forward to them. They're some of my favorite characters. And they're on both sides, the blacks and the greens.
All right. 916, is she still there? You have anything else to say?
I think, sorry. Sorry, I messed up the phone lines. 916, thank you so much for the call. Area code 757, welcome back. What's going on, 757?
All right, you got to go to someone else. All right, go ahead. Give it to him. What's going on?
I'm glad to see that Tower Bridge has called out from under his rock.
That's Kelly.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I know his voice.
I'm just glad to see the usual suspects back together.
Yes,
there
sir.
we go.
The gang is riding again.
Yes, sir. I told you we'd be back. I told you many times that we'd be here.
Oh, he's live right here. He's with us. This isn't a voicemail.
Yeah, he's live.
Oh, nice.
But I just like to say, I don't have high hope for the show because every time I ask someone about it, they just give me blank looks.
All right, I feel you on that. I'm sure you are not the only one who feels that way, bro.
But like, I asked people, and then I'm like, "Are you gonna watch season 2 of House of the Dragon?" They said, "Oh, that's coming out." They don't even have a clue. But I hope you guys enjoy it. I know you guys get amped up, and you guys find value in it, and that's what's important. Different opinions, but I hope you guys, because I know my man Phil gets into it. I don't know if Phil's been a big Game of Thrones head in the past, but I know he gets amped up when the show comes on. So, shouts out to my man Phil. And you Tower Bridge, where you been at, man? Where you been? You been trying to find yourself in the Himalayas or something?
Oh, it's funny.
He was in a darkness retreat, bro. He's in a darkness retreat.
He's been playing Bobby Fischer in chess.
Yeah, I've gotten addicted to chess. I play a couple hundred games every day, and I suck.
I don't want to take up too much time. I'm just glad to see you guys. I look forward to the discussions that are going to come up. However much I may disagree with it, I look forward to the debate that's going to come up from these shows. So, Peace out, homies. Have a good night and enjoy the show.
Thank you, my friend.
You as well, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you to the voice
Throw
of
up the Bridge 4 emoji in the chat. for Bridge being back, the usual suspects being back. Throw up the Phil emoji in the chat if you're a channel member. If you want to get access to those emojis, you got to be a channel member. Subscribe and become a channel member. If you're not subscribed to Teflon TV, Bridge 4, or Fill the Issues Guy, please subscribe to our channels. We will be here every week at this time to discuss the prior episode and what we think's going on. None of us have seen it, and none of us will see it, so it'll all be fresh to us. So we could just be like,
He told me no this time.
It'll be like old times and everything else, and we could just have fun.
I asked. They told me no.
Did you ask?
Yeah, I asked this year. They're like,
They
nope.
said no.
They're like, only Emergency Awesome gets it this year.
They fucking bastards.
They told me
Fucking
no.
bastards.
They told me no.
Let
They
me
said,
just give a shout.
they said we don't need to promote the show as much this year, so we're only we're dialing back. I don't know if you tried, but
Oh yeah, I got it, but it is what it is. I ain't watching it. Direwolf City is streaming after the episode. They're going to be doing streams. Gray Area, Alicia, not Alice, and Aura. Aura is going to be up in the house. You see 3 beautiful women. They're going to be in there. Make sure you subscribe to Direwolf City to go check them out. Fill the Issues Guy streaming after the show. Check out Fill the Issues Guy channel if you want the after show. I will be stopping on here and there. Bridge will be stopping on here and there. And, of course, we'll be doing some joint things with our sister podcast, Direwolf City. We'll be up in there and everything else like that. You will all be up in there and all that. So make sure you check out these. You go there, you bounce out, and you go and check out Direwolf City tonight. Check out For the Issues Guys tonight. Go out there, show them some love, and let everybody know who you represent. We representing this and everything else. We're going to get up out of here, give you guys a half an hour so you can go take a shit if you got to, or whatever you got to do to get ready for the show. You know what I mean? And get ready, freshen up, and all that. And because it's probably going to be a long night for a lot of us.
Poop night.
Us YouTubers out here. It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night, God damn it. Tonight, thank everybody for rocking with us as always. You know what I mean? If you like the way we do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.